Today, we're going to be learning about food and fun and embracing diversity and new experiences by reading the book and looking at the book Bilal Cook's Doll. So, the first thing that we're going to talk about is if you've ever tried a food you thought you wouldn't like and ended up liking it. If yes, which food did you try and why did you enjoy it? If not, what is a food that you're afraid to try or you've tried and didn't like? Today we're going to listen to Bilal Cook's Dal by an author named Aisha Saeed. Dal is a food from South Asia and is a very popular dish in Indian cooking. We're going to listen to the different colors and spices used when making dal, which has more than one kind that can be used to make this dish. Bilal is biking outside with his friends when his father steps out of the house. Bilal, it's time to begin cooking dinner, says Abu. Bilal's friends ask why they would need to start cooking so early. This dish takes patience, Abu said. This dish takes time. It's the best meal of all, says Bilal. It's dal. What's dal like? Is it salty? Does it taste really good? Dal is nutty and creamy and warm like soup. There are all different kinds. Come see, you can help us pick which one. They take off their shoes, they wash their hands. Bilal grabs his favorite stool. They study the colors yellow, orange, green, and brown. Yellow, Elias says, because yellow is sunflowers, rubber ducks, and the sun. And chana dal is my favorite, Bilal says. When Abu scoops out a cup of the bright yellow dal, it clatters into the bowl. They're small like pebbles, but shaped like pancakes, and they slip through Bilal's fingers like sand. They line up the spices. Bilal breathes in the scent of turmeric, chili, cumin. Morgan sprinkles salt. Elias tries to help. Bilal combines the spices. Abu pulls out a pot, the biggest they have. It looks funny, Morgan frowns. It smells funny, whispers Elias. Do you think it will taste okay? And suddenly Bilal is a little tiny bit worried that maybe, just maybe, his friends won't like dal at all. Has there ever been a time that you've been afraid of what your friends might think when maybe they're trying something new or that's different when they were visiting your house? Is it ready? Asks Elias. Can we taste? Asks Morgan. No, Abu explains. Dal takes time. We have to wait. The flavors mix together slowly. You kids go play and have fun while it cooks. They run outside to play hopscotch. Elias numbers the sidewalk to 20. Let's make it longer to 100, he says. It'll definitely be done by then. So they hop, skip, and jump to the end. Caleb and Emma join too. Let's check if it's ready. Let's go take a bite. Do you think it's going to be ready yet? Or is it going to take maybe just a little bit longer? Not yet, Bilal tells them. Dal takes time. We have to wait. They put on swimsuits, slip down the slide, and cannonball into Morgan's pool. Elias floats, Morgan dives. Some more neighborhood kids join them, and they all play Marco Polo. Is the dal done? Asks Morgan. It's got to be ready by now. Bilal squints at the sun. It's not as high in the sky. Almost, he tells them. Dal takes time. We have to wait. They hike through the forest and skip pebbles in the stream. The sun starts to set. They watch the fireflies glow. They hear Boo call out, Bilal, it's almost time. They march up the cobblestone steps. They knock on the yellow door, and as loud as they can, they ask, Is it done? Do you think maybe they're getting a little bit impatient and very, very hungry? Come see, Abu smiles and opens the door wider. The kids rush inside. Bilal lifts up the lid. He peeks in the pot. Abu says, ready for the final steps. They dice up the onions, chop ginger, press garlic, squeeze lemons, and top it off with fresh cilantro. Bilal pulls out the plates. Abu sets out the naan. The kids pull up every chair in the house. Now, I'm kind of wondering what naan means. Maybe naan could mean napkins, or naan could mean plates or bowls. I think this is something that we will look up later as a class to find out what this word means. Bilal watches his friends take a spoonful of dal. Why do you think he's watching them so closely? Do you think maybe he wonders what they think and he hopes they like it? It's steamy, says Morgan. Like soup, says Elias. It tastes garlicky and salty and sweet. I like the onions. I like the lemon. And the way it's so creamy, it melts in your mouth. Dal takes time. We had to wait, but Bilal, you were right. Dal tastes great. Bilal looks at his dad and smiles. Abu winks. Tasty, isn't it? He said. Like my Ami once made. My friends and I helped her once like you. I think maybe from reading this book that a me might possibly be a grandma or mom. Doll is tiny, doll is tough, but with a little time and a lot of patience, it becomes the softest, tastiest, best thing in the whole wide world. And the best part is sharing it with friends. That's why Bilal loves doll so much. And in the back of this book, the author actually put in a note so we could learn more about what dal is and where it comes from. Dal is a staple food in much of South Asia, including in Pakistan, where Bilal's grandparents grew up. Dal, also known as lentils in English, is the name of a thick vegetarian stew full of healthy protein and vitamins. There are many different types of dals, each with their own color, shape, and flavor. Some cook quickly, and some can take all day to make just right. People eat dal with rice, bread, and sometimes just with a spoon. Now, if it were up to you, would you choose the dal that took all day, or would you choose the one that's faster so you could eat sooner? Now, what we're going to do is I will hand you an activity where you look at these foods from around the world and you will think about why these foods might be similar or different to foods in America, and then raise your hand and explain to me which ones from which countries you think are similar or different. Now that that activity has been completed, you'll be drawing a picture of your favorite food and writing two descriptive sentences. One sentence will say why you chose the food you're drawing as your favorite, and one about why you enjoy making this food with your family. There's going to be a list of directions handed out that include pictures to help you understand this activity better. When this is done, I'll share a few of the student drawings and we'll talk about why it's good to learn from those who are different than us and that differences can make the world and our lives a better, more interesting place. And I will be walking around the room to help you with your sentences and to develop ideas if you need any help. All right, so these student drawings, like I said, show why it's good to learn from those who are different than us, why it's maybe good to try different foods. Obviously, these families might eat different things, but it's possible that you would try them and enjoy them and make them for your own families or with your own families. Honestly, if we didn't think differently from each other and try different things, we wouldn't be able to learn from each other as well. So it's important to be open to new things and new ideas. It makes life more interesting and it can help you form friendships and it could actually change your life if you're open to new people and new ideas. When Bilal cooked a dal with his friends and dad, his friends were willing to try dal even though it was a new experience for them. So, how is Bilal making dal with his friends and dad like your experiences cooking with your family? I know when I cooked with my family, it gave us time to spend together when we were maybe busy all day and we finally got together at the end of the day and could kind of relax and unwind and really get to talk to each other about how our days were. So now looking back at the scholastic activity food around the world, which food would you be willing to try and why? I know, at least for me, I'd be willing to try paella because I have an aunt who lived in Spain for many years and actually knows how to make authentic paella the way that they do make it in Spain. And it tastes amazing. So if you could raise your hand when you're ready to respond and share what food you would be willing to try and why. So to close out this activity, I'll be handing out a blank recipe activity. You'll be taking this home and getting an adult's help to fill this paper out with a special family recipe you enjoy making together. This should include your name, the recipe's name, ingredients, measurements, and the step-by-step instructions. When these are returned, which should be in about 5 days, they'll be printed and made into a classroom recipe book for families to try and enjoy the recipes together. This will also give us a chance to look at foods that our classmates enjoy and see maybe what different families like to do or like to eat and give us new ideas to try as well.